Yizzo, what it do, man? Let's get to it. Critical race theory. Spooky. It's this new age education that they're trying to put onto the kids now. I think they've given up on the education system. Everything they've tried has failed because they don't understand common sense. It actually started with Common Core. If you remember that whole math system that's supposed to revolutionize the way kids learn math, supposed to level the playing field, make all kids learn math the same way. Failed miserably. Common Core math is basically breaking all math problems down into chemistry for some reason. I don't know. I don't understand why that you think it would make sense to for a child to learn math that way. If you have a problem like 50 plus 30, 80. That's it. Bing, bang, boom. On to the next one. No, you can't do that anymore. You have to break it down into the 50 needs to be broken down into chemistry. The 30 needs to be broken down into algebra, and then you mix it all together, and voila, they understand it. No, instead of taking 2 seconds to answer these easy math questions, now it takes a minute. And on top of that, the parents don't understand it. The kids don't understand it. And I'm speaking to you as a parent because I have a 12 and a 10-year-old, and I have a 5 and a 3-year-old. I got 4 kids. And so I'm in the school system at all levels, right? So when they bring the homework home, you don't know how frustrating it is to know the answer off the top of your head like this. Even the kids, even my kids know the answers off the top of their head. But having to go on YouTube to try to figure out how to break it down and why that makes sense, it doesn't make sense. Period. So based on that is what I believe is they just gave up on the whole school system, and now they're trying to push another agenda, which is critical race theory onto children. They tried it with adults. Coca-Cola did. I'm showing you the slides about that. It backfired tremendously. A lot of backlash received from it, so they scrapped it. So now they're trying to push it onto the kids. Like I said, it's basically teaching racism. If you're white, apparently from conception, you're a wicked heathen. I'm serious. This is what they try to teach. You're just a wicked person from the womb, and if you're black, you're just an oppressed victim, and this is it. There is no solution. They don't even offer a solution. It's just you're just an oppressed, a minority victim, and this is the way life is, right? Like I said, they've given up. They've given up, and now they want to blame everything on racism now, and they want to teach it to the kids. And there's a lot of backlash from it, from politicians to teachers to parents. Yeah, these school board meetings are getting lit. Yeah, they're getting lit. They up there, and and it's not just white parents; it's black parents too. But they will not. The media won't show you this because this is part of their new agenda. They've given up on trying to fix things. They've given up on trying to explain things. So what they're doing now is they're blaming everything wrong in this country, especially for black people, on racism. Right now, Coca-Cola in February of this year. Now, critical race theory has been around since the '70s, but it's now being accelerated into mainstream education, sectors, right? So Coca-Cola in February of this year, 2021, a few months ago, they tried to offer this new diversity training. You know how well those are. And they made employees sit down and watch slides and learn from a very smart person. One of these people that has a lot of degrees, right? A lot of degrees on their walls. They have a lot of accolades, a lot of certificates, a lot of hours of schooling and education. Not one degree or certificate for common sense. You can't learn that. It's in you. Either you got it or you don't. So they sent somebody to Coca-Cola to do diversity training. I'm gonna show you the slides, and it's ridiculous. And it received so much backlash that they scrapped it. So now instead of going to adults, listen, they're tired of people like me. And there's millions of people like me out there. You're not going to be able to pull this con game on us. But you can on a child, which is how wicked they are. So I'm going to show you some of these slides right now. But yeah, this was Coca-Cola slides that they were teaching their employees for diversity training. Now, if you worked in a corporation, we've all been in these little seminars. You go to the training room, and they got donuts, they got coffee there. There's a guy working the projector. Doesn't know how to use it. He's asking me how to use his projector screen. I'm like, bro, I just sat down. I don't know what's going on. Go figure it out. And he does, and they put the slides on. They pass the paper around. You sign it, and they send it off to HR. It goes in your file. And corporate know that you took part in this training. This is a training for grown adults about the new diversity, part of critical race theory. Okay, start at the top left. Confronting racism, understanding what it means to be white, and challenging what it means to be racist. Sheesh. This is one of these smart ass people that got all these degrees that came up with this concept, right? In the US and other Western nations, white people are socialized to feel that they are inherently superior because they are white. Research shows that by age 3 to 4, children understand that it is better to be white. What research was this? I wasn't polled. I got kids. I wasn't polled about this research. Ages 3 and 4. I got 4 kids. Like I told you, I got 12 and a 10-year-old and a 5 and a 3-year-old. When they were 3 and 4, they thought I was bigger than Shaq. They thought I had more money than Batman. They thought I was stronger than Superman. They didn't see any construct of race or anything like that. They didn't feel, oh, daddy's inferior to the white man. None of that. All they saw was me and how I moved and how I carried it. That's what they saw. So that's what they gauged everything on. Even to this day, they don't see white people as superior beings. And they damn sure don't feel oppressed. With all the stuff they got, internets, laptops, phones, Xboxes, Wi-Fi. Yeah, they have no understanding what oppression is. I make sure of that. So I don't understand with this crap where by the age 3 or 4, children, they don't even push percentage. They don't say 1 out of 3 or 50%. They can say children as a whole, white, black, Asian, Hispanic. Everybody just knows. A child at 3 and 4 knows that white people are the superior being. Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. You kidding me? This is what they want to teach your 3 and 4-year-old. Because if a 3 and 4-year-old believe that, that means somebody's telling them that. They're being taught that, which is what they want to teach these kids in these schools now. If you're 3 and 4 and you're black, you're inferior to white people, and if you're 3 or 4-year-old white child, you're a superior wicked heathen, and you need to be, I don't know what, punished, or I don't know what the goal end game is for this, but it's nonsense. And like I said, this was being taught to adults. Let's continue. To be less white. How to be less white? To be less white is to be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain, be less defensive, be less ignorant, be more humble, listen, believe, break with apathy, break with white solidarity. And then the end, try to be less white. I guess that's the end message right there. Just try to be less white. Could you imagine if this said to be less black is to be less Hispanic is how to be less Asian, trying to be less black. There will be protests in the streets, stores will be burnt down, absolutely. The media will be all over this. But they're not. They're not even covering this. Now, you can say you've experienced some levels of racism. I think everybody has. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. I've never experienced anything like this. Even me reading this is like spooky. It's just like crazy. I don't understand the logic of some of these people that are running these institutions or running these companies. Why you think this is a good idea. This is very, very dangerous and just stupid. Just stupid. And the reason I'm speaking up on this, and mind you, this is geared for white people, so I guess I'm supposed to feel better at the end of the day, like, yeah, go get them, about time. No, if you don't stand up for stuff like this, right, against people that you think are your enemies or they're going after the right people, they'll come for you next. That's what they do. This is how this works. Have you not learned from the cancel culture? The cancel culture is starting to implode on themselves. They're starting to eat each other. Because last year, when the energy was directed at racism and social justice and Trumpers and MAGA this and all the other crap, everybody was fine with it. Yeah, let's go get them. And then when they were done with them, now they started coming after the other ones. And now everybody's like, oh, wait a minute, I was on your side. Why are you coming after me? I'm one of the good ones. That's not how this works, stupid. You should know. If you don't stand up for your enemies, they will come for you next. So you got to start looking out for these things and understanding what the end game is. This is not the end game. This is just part 1 of it. Part 2 is going to be for the next group that they want to come after. And then after that, the next group and the next group until everybody is just stuck on this scared wagon and not knowing what to do. So yeah, this is just a small portion of what they were trying to teach grown people. So, and this is in February. It's July now, so they've had 6 months to revamp it up for the children. So they're gonna have little cartoons and colorful pamphlets and all types of weird stuff. So start watching with your kids. Bring home from school. Ask them questions. What did you learn today? and start going to these school board meetings, because this is what the new agenda. They've given up on having to explain why the country is a mess, and they want to push it onto the kids, because if you take a child when he's young, you can mold him up. You can mold him up. By the time he's 18, with all this dumb brainwashing they're doing, you could have a rebellious, weird soldier, right? People like me were phased out. You can't pull this con game on us at all. Period. It's not gonna work. So, but you can definitely do it to a child. And the political party that's really affiliated with this is the Democratic Party, which you got to start watching out for them, because they are the main ones pushing for this. Now, if you don't know, black people have been voting for the Democrats for since the 60s. We are the only race and culture in this country that votes so one-sided politically. 93% of the time when black people vote is for a Democrat. That is scary. That is scary. That is scary, and we have absolutely nothing to show for it. So what this is doing is basically giving them a way out. Yeah. So now they don't have to take any accountability for failed policies, these weird agendas, these social experiments that has failed miserably. They're tired of explaining it, so now they're just going to blame everything on racism. And this is what they're going to teach your kids. So watch out, be careful out there, and like I said, start looking at your kids' homework, start looking at their going in their book bags to see what kind of worksheets they're getting now, because this is being pushed into the schools, and this is insane. But that's my time. I hate being woke. That's my burden, not yours. Like, subscribe, comment, like, subscribe, and I'm out.